Hey there. So you guys know that I've been doing this training to become an ANFT certified nature and forest therapy guide. And it's been a 6-month program. I'm 5.5 months into the 6-month program. And I just wanted to share some thoughts on it. And what a ride. I started the program in November, and now it's April, and I'm so grateful for having had that experience. I'm a little bit sad because I'm 90% done with my training, and after that, it's going to be done. And the people are in the group, the more than 25 people that have been in the training group with me, they're going to go on, keep it on, and I'm going to miss those once a week, sometimes twice a week sessions, just talking about and learning about nature and how we can develop a relationship with the things around us in our environment. And I'm just noticing the springtime atmosphere here, and it's so beautiful. And some things are changing. So in a few weeks, the class is going to be done. Hopefully, I'm going to be certified. They approve everything. And I just want to reflect a little bit on how I've changed. In the beginning, I might get emotional here. In the beginning, I was so lost. I was going through a lot of personal things. Not that I'm not still, but I was in the beginning of my healing process, and just understanding what I had to heal, if it was even possible to heal some of these things. And not that nature therapy or forest therapy is a replacement for medical doctors or your psychologists, psychiatrists, the medical profession, the people around you in medicine. It's not a replacement for it, but I have to say, from my experience, it definitely enhanced and supported those aspects. Of course, I was going to a psychologist, and I sort of used it hand in hand. The exercises that my psychologist, you guys know, I've been sharing videos about all of that, but the exercises that my psychologist would give to me to do more positive self-talk or feel like I belong. Nature has supported me in that, and I've done a lot of that work in the outdoors, even though it was wintertime and cold and rainy at some times, but it's been so helpful, and I'm so grateful for the experience. So I am changed. I have improved in a lot of ways, and the single most important way that I think that I have changed is that I am not so quick to anger. I didn't know why I was so angry before. And now I know. So knowledge is power. And I've used those tools both from the psychologist and in nature with relational nature therapy to enhance my healing. And it's been wonderful, and I'm going to continue to do it. So knowledge is power, but also the act of practicing embodiment through all of your senses. And I'll give you an example. When I used to get angry for whatever reason, I don't know, anything could trigger it. Like just being sad would make me angry. And one of the things my psychologist said was to name the feeling, sit with the feeling, acknowledge the feeling, and do that for as long as I would need. Say I'm angry, say I'm frustrated, say I'm confused, and acknowledge it and let myself feel those emotions. And this is part of the emotion, the processing emotions. And so I'd sit with the feelings and the emotions, and I would allow myself to just feel angry. And it's okay to feel sad, to feel frustrated. It's okay. And then I would allow my nervous system to calm down. And of course, that's enhanced by being in nature, going from your sympathetic state to a parasympathetic state, to the more calm, rest and digest state, and just get into that state in nature, and then do some sort of release exercise, whether that's exhaling a breath, or if it's doing an emotion, like you're getting rid of it out of your body. I would do all of those things, as the psychologist mentioned, but then I would do it also in nature. And it's been helpful. And that's just one example. And so one of the benefits that I've received so far is that I am calmer. And I can't attribute this to one specific thing or another. I can't say that if I didn't have my psychologist, would nature therapy have helped me as much? Of course, I can't say that exactly, but I would say, I think kinda. Maybe I would have read up on it more and figured some of those things out by myself, but I wouldn't recommend that. Go see a psychologist if you need to. But my point is the nature therapy part has really helped me, and I don't think that you have to be in a trauma state for nature to help you. But I just wanted to talk about the benefits for me. And your experience will be very, very different. It should be very, very different, because my feet don't fit into your shoes. All right. So the benefits for me so far have been, I'm more calm. I'm less angry. I know how to ground myself in the moment of fear or sadness or anger or frustration. And I can take the tools that I've learned and practiced in nature and bring it into the moment. So imagine, being in a business meeting and you're all stressed and you want to ground yourself a bit, and you can do that by what you've practiced and what I've practiced in nature therapy. So that's an example. So more calm. I think that I show up for people better now. I have the capacity to be able to show up for people. And that's one of the things that I wanted to do in the beginning on my healing journey, which is be a better mom, be a better partner, be a better friend. And I think that I've elevated slightly in all of those aspects. There's so much to do, so I'm not perfect at any of them, and I don't expect to be, but I think I've leveled up because of nature therapy in that regard. The other thing I was hoping to work on in my healing process was finding my identity, both personally and professionally. And I think I'm well on my way. Personally, I can be myself in nature. I can talk to the rocks. I can feel bad for the trees that are sick. And I can feel happy for the growing moss around me, because it's just so beautiful. And I feel like I can be accepted in nature, and I can accept myself, which is very important. How many times have I cried in the videos? I think every single one. I think I'm still emotionally pretty raw, because it's been a journey, but it's not done. I still have a lot of work to do. But personally, I have made that leap to accepting myself. I've found my personal identity, and I feel comfortable in that. I think I've also worked through my need for external validation that comes from the childhood trauma that I lived through, and just realized that I have been carrying it with me so deeply for the last 40 years. But I don't need that external validation anymore. I'm not here to prove anything to anybody. I'm not here to prove anything to myself. I don't need to anymore. I have people around me that love me. I have people around me that care for me. And they don't judge me. Not that they were before, but in my tiny brain they were, I guess. In my inner child brain, I suppose they were. And then the last thing professionally, I'm very excited to acknowledge and say that I think I've found myself professionally also. This experience has helped me so much that I want to share this experience, the ability to develop a relationship with nature, not just get your health benefits from it, which is good. Of course, we're going to feel less stress when we're in nature. Of course, we're going to have those biological benefits that science and research has shown to be true for natural spaces, for forest spaces, for green spaces. Of course, you're going to get all those things. But for me, the relational aspect of it is really the part that I want to share with people. And it's not something that you can really do alone. You're going to need a guide for it. I hope that everyone in the future will have a guide next to them that they could reach out to. But I'm going to make myself available to you guys in that capacity. I'm very excited to move forward with my professional identity as a nature and forest therapy guide. I'm building my website now. I'm going to make this experience as accessible and as available to as many people as I can. If I could do this day and night, if I could guide you day and night, I would. So I'm going to make it as accessible as possible, which means I'm going to have in-person sessions. If you're around the area, contact me, go through my website, book a session. There's bookings available, which I will make available once it's published. And also I'm going to provide some opportunities for online nature therapy sessions with me, which I think is going to be amazing, and it's going to be just as useful, helpful, impactful. The experience isn't going to be lessened because it's online. In fact, I think it could be even better. It just depends on your demeanor. When I was in my dark place, I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to see anybody. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to be even outside. It was hard for me to step outside. And if nature therapy is something that you can access from your backyard in a place that you feel safe, or even in your room, if you have a plant next to you, or if you're undergoing surgery, you have surgery recovery, you're in recovery, and as I was not long ago with my knee surgery, I want this to be available to as many people as possible, and I think that I can do that for you guys. So I will let you know when my website is up and ready to go. I am very excited to share this experience. I worked hard and I've practiced hard, not just to be somebody who's experiencing forest therapy or nature therapy, but I worked really hard to be a good guide, to understand from various positions and perspectives how to create a safe space for you to experience something that I hope for you to experience. I'm not a therapist, but I'm trauma informed. Nature is the therapist, and I, as your guide, am very, very happy to introduce you and open the doors to those possibilities for you. So if you're interested, watch this space, and I will be launching my website soon to share these experiences with you guys. And we can continue to heal or to experience and develop a relationship with nature together. It's not all about healing. I will be healing. We're all going to have different journeys in this experience, whether you're with me in person or online. You're going to be addressing the things that you want to address. Maybe you just want to take some time for yourself and have permission to just go slowly. That's okay. For me, I'm going to work on my healing, and we can walk together in the experience. And I appreciate you just being there and giving yourself the time, because self-care is not selfish care, as I've realized. And I hope for everyone that they can experience self-care in this way. And we'll see you next time.